Hello, welcome to Shay Spills podcast. That was a sigh. Oh my god. Welcome to Shay Spills podcast. I'm your host, SheilannO, aka Shay. Hello, how are you? How you doing? It's Friday, which means Behind the Streams podcast episode is here. Now, if you're wondering what that is, Behind the Streams is a conversation I have with Irish content and streamers. Basically content creators and streamers. That's what I'm trying to say, SheilannO. Oh, jeez. Basically, we have a conversation with them and get to get their thoughts on certain things. And today's guest is FonGaming. He's a small streamer from Monaghan, and I know him from he's a moderator as also, so we were kind of talking about moderation as well in the episode today. So he moderates for KyeYeah and another podcast, Jesus, stream. He also has been in a couple of podcasts, so he knows what he's talking about. Also, there is a slight delay in the responses on the recording. Do not be afraid, nothing is wrong with your phone or wherever you're listening to. It's just that Discord is where we'll be recording it from, so there was a slight delay, but please be patient and just listen, I guess. With that, enjoy the episode and I'll see you after the chat. Lovely. So for anyone who doesn't know who you are, tell us a little about yourself.
So my name is Francis. I am an Irish streamer, variety in that sense. I go by name FonGaming, or as some people refer to me, Fon or Fon. Basically, fun in a posh accent. So I live in Monaghan, and I mainly play Dead by Daylight in that sense, but also I do Warzone and also Division content.
How did you get into streaming?
I originally got into streaming from, I think it was Gamerfest originally.
Okay.
I was at Gamerfest and I met up with Platinum Jack, who had been streaming at the time, and all cast Irish gamers.
Mhm.
And just out of interest, we were discussing, at the event about games. And Jack had always beyond me, you should try it. I go, well, I don't have the internet for it. And he goes, I should give it a go anyway. So if it was 2 days after, Jack messaged me and he just goes, I should set up the account now. And he basically showed me how to set up with the PlayStation. The first time we tried it, I think it was Sniper Elite 4 we tried with it. And it went for the first 5 minutes and then crashed.
Oh no.
So then I figured out you could use hotspot from the phone. So that worked on and off. There was times I had to reset the hotspot like to get stuff working. But it go for about a good 2 hours before any crashes. And then recently enough, then we got better internet. So the streams have been working for longer. There hasn't been any issue in that sense. But it was funny the way that worked, like from starting like that and then building. And we've got that many memories just from it. But yeah, that's kind of how I got started. And then there was other people along the way that just kind of helped in between.
So you said it's mostly Dead by Daylight and Warzone you mostly stream, right?
Yeah, it's been more Dead by Daylight at the minute because you had, the hacker controversy in Warzone.
Mm.
We had a few issues where the actual Twitch account tried to get hacked. Well, was in the process of being hacked, and I managed to stop it, but we also found out where the hack was come from.
Oh.
Russia.
Oh no.
Well,
Okay.
at the time, that's what the original hack was from. So we had done a stream literally the night before, so we were thinking maybe somehow they got, information trying to get in, or it's a forced hack. So I haven't really been on Warzone since then.
Yeah.
So I was kind of letting it die down a bit. But I'm probably going to go back on this week because apparently they are doing a Halloween event this year.
Hmm.
So I'll back on and see what it's like.
I'll tell you what, it's not the greatest, but from everyone saying about it, it's better. It's not as good as last year's. Whatever that means, because I didn't actually play it last year because I only started Warzone this year. But what has been the most memorable moments you remember from your first few months streaming?
Um, let's see. Probably making Platinum Jack a mod. So for anyone that doesn't know, when you make someone a mod, uh, mods are basically they control your chat, but also they can add commands to Nightbot or Streamlabs within your chat. They don't actually have to go into the programs themselves. So we were in the middle of playing Dead by Daylight. We had a full party going in. Halfway through it, all I could hear was one of the other people in the chat, or one of the other people in the party chat, Eva laughing. I'm sure I thought she's laughing and she goes, just look at your chat. And I looked over and all I could read was the Platinum Jack is gaining power. And it started just repeating on screen. I was going, what the hell did you do? He's just putting in commands, but it was brilliant because even the people in chat didn't start doing the commands. And also, Nightbot had developed, he had started blocking certain words, so ooh got banned. So he figured out a way around ooh and everything, so it started coming up on the stream and everything. But I was one, and I think the other one was the time we just decided we were going to do Warzone for an entire week,
Mhm.
and we didn't realize that there was a glitch in certain parts of the map. So our vehicle went through the entire map, but still showed we were playing.
Yeah.
So we got out of the map and started running randomly around taking shots. Found out we had killed two people before we died. We couldn't see any of this. All we could see was us running onto the map. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was one of the funniest glitches we ever had. And that also happened with Dead by Daylight, where we think it looked like we were a mile away from the killer, and then either we just stopped on a hill randomly in midair,
Hmm.
or the killer would hit us, and then we come up with the term being hit from Narnia. That confused a lot.
Oh. What's your process on your streams and your socials for your planning of it, really?
And so what I try to do is, when now that I'm back at work, because I wasn't in work there due to an injury,
Hmm.
and when I'm back at work now, I've basically informed everyone that I always try and do a stream from about 8, half 8 on every evening.
Hmm.
And that 2 days a week I wouldn't be doing streams. So I planned kind of Monday and Thursday so far there wouldn't be a stream on. That'd be kind of the nights that people in Discord wanted either private coaching or they just wanted the game or something else. We'd set that up and we'd just do that within the Discord and have a laugh. And then kind of planning before stream. First thing I check is testing the internet on the PlayStation, because just there are times when I don't do it, I be kind of going in the middle of the stream.
Hmm.
So I hope this doesn't crash. That's just the thought that comes back. But
What was? Oh yeah, but like, do you know you stream through your PlayStation, right?
yeah, I stream through PS4 and then I have the PS5, but I only stream either PS5 exclusives or kind of demos through the PS5. It's to give
Oh,
everyone an idea of new games coming out.
okay. Um, who's your favorite video game character?
That's the fun. Favorite video game character. If I had to go with probably from growing up to now, it'd be Cloud Strife. Basically, he's the main character of Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
And throughout the game, he doesn't have a full memory of himself in that sense. He
Mhm.
has, in a sense, PTSD from earlier events. But the idea of his personality, and even though he's suffering from the effects of PTSD, it
Mhm.
doesn't stop him doing what he believes in.
Mhm.
So in that sense, that's the way I look at things. Even though like something could be bad happening in life, I don't let it stop me, doing things I want or just planning ahead.
Mhm. What was your first video game you ever played?
First video game I ever played was Tanks,
Okay.
which is on a bootleg Nintendo controller. So on the real old tellies, you had your yellow, your white, and your red.
Mhm.
So you plugged them three in. One was sound, one was video, and that was the last. I think the last one was maybe for the controls. And yeah, Tanks was the first game on it. Me and my dad used to play it.
Mhm.
We literally spent hours in Tanks. And it wasn't just the fact it was about 1,000 levels and you had to complete them all. But the fact you could do multiplayer, and it was just the strategy of figuring out where someone was going to go on the map. And if you had a lot of players, you'd be there and you'd be second guessing yourself on what corner to turn because you only had maybe a certain amount of shots in that sense. Uh, but then there was there's a few thousand games on that, but Tanks was probably the most memorable.
What was a popular game that everyone seemed to love but you didn't like?
Uh, I get a bit of hate for this. Fortnite.
Fortnite. Okay. You're the second person that said that, so no
Yeah,
shade.
at the time when Fortnite came out, um, I think it was the way it was portrayed in the video trailers, you
Mm.
know, the initial trailers for the game. It looked more like a kid's game. Now, it was kind of tailored, well, from the trailers I remember, it was tailored as basically a fun shooter,
Mhm.
but then a lot of the characters, the models, was more to a kid's aesthetic. That was at the time. And even though I suppose it is still that way, but the fact I think they brought more stuff in, I think that's what differs it now. But it's just the original opinion, that's kind of what I seen from it.
Mm.
Like, a lot of my friends loved it at the start and they would get me to play it, and then I was going, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to like that because at the time I didn't really like shooters.
Mhm.
It was only when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out that I got back into actually just shooters. I took a break for nearly 5 years.
Was there a reason why you took a break for so long?
Uh, it was at the time it was one of the Call of Duties, and I know that the game I had for it literally would not work. It got
Oh.
you were playing and I took a shot, and even though I knew it was aimed at the person
Mhm.
couldn't stand still. Shot never hit. I don't know why it just never worked. And even in multiplayer,
Mm.
um, again in the single player it wouldn't work, and then the multiplayer was even worse because people would say I'd be standing still even though I'd be moving around the entire map.
Because I was actually saying this to someone yesterday. I would say the same. I tried CS:GO Counter Strike for the first time in, I think, I'm gonna say it was a year now, and I tried it 2 days ago, and I'm so used to Call of Duty compared to CS:GO. It's just the movements and everything, and the head. I couldn't even get a shot anymore. I was like, okay, I can see why I gave this game up.
Yeah, it's so different.
It's so different. Like the movements, like you're walking really slow in CS:GO, and then in like Call of Duty, you're like running fast. Like the movements are so different.
Yeah,
And like I couldn't even get a headshot, which was embarrassing.
yeah. CS:GO, it's it kind of follows the well. It's probably around before, but do you remember the real old Tom Clancy games? Or would you ever see
Yes.
trailers?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was very like that. I think that's where the basis of CS:GO was. It was the fact that it's slow and tactical movement,
Mhm.
and then more precise accuracy. I think that was the portrayal of it. But it does fit the bill in every aspect when you are playing it, because I know one of my friends is big into CS:GO.
Mhm.
Like he'd be flat out playing it, and anytime they do some online tournaments, but he'd be playing and he'd get very high up in the tournament, but he'd never really get the first place, but he'd keep trying and he goes, yeah, I just had to go more carefully, around this section. But he'd have the entire map from memory. He can actually map out an entire area, and he'd be figuring out, well, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna dodge this corner,
Mm.
or he'd have certain areas, and it's mad the precision he goes to. But like that's, as he said, that's the way the game played.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I mean, at the time when back in 2016 is where I kind of started gaming properly. That CS:GO was the game to play.
Yeah, it had a massive following, and still does it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was at the CS:GO Ireland group on Facebook, but like ever since I left it a few years ago, so I don't know what's it like now, the trend of it. But I think a lot of people did move over like to Warzone and other games compared to Call of or Counter Strike. So I guess not many people probably wouldn't be playing it as much compared to them. But if you had to live in the world of the last game you played, what world would that be?
That'd be it. I'd be stuck. I'd be stuck in the bloody hellscape.
Do you have a favorite character in Dead by Daylight
Um,
or Avatar? Should I say?
to be honest, in Deputy Elite, I use a character called Meg,
Hmm.
and the only reason I used her was the time her perks were speed. So basically, her perks are basically she's a chaser. She'll get away from the killer, but she'll also be able to rescue other characters fairly easy. And I just kind of stayed with the character through the game. And by this point in the game, you unlock perks with multiple different characters, but they can be brought over to a character later. So I've every perk on that character. So every perk in the game is on one character at the moment. So commitment.
If you could delete one video game forever, what would it be? No pressure.
Video game. And
Ant.
no, um, Anthem was a PlayStation game. I think it was meant to be released 2017 or 18.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it was it was taking inspiration from Halo and open world adventure. It was like the world was kind of dying and you had to restore it. But it was like you were in Iron Man suits basically, but they look more like Halo in that sense. But I know it got released on day one and it was just completely broken, people had said. but it was the most hated game ever released. That's what
Wow.
it is. But yeah, Anthem, that's what it's called.
Oh, jeez. Do you think PC gamers are more superior to console players?
I know it is a big topic. You see a lot online about it. In my opinion, right, there's some games that might work better on PC or console. It just depends in the sense of both keyboard and mouse versus control. But I know for a fact that there is many things that people play on PC that could be a lot easier on console and vice versa. I think in a sense, even with the console PC, there's no real superiority. I know they do say you've got the console wars and I think it's the master race on PC, isn't it? That's the kind of ideal. Uh, the both both have their ups and downs. I like to be honest, I'd say there's no superior in that sense. I know if you take it in terms of like as I was saying Dead by Daylight, for
Mm.
console players it's very hard to use a character known as the Huntress, throws hatchets. So if you're on PC, you can use the mouse to kinda aim up and down. Where on console you have to try and predict like there's an arrow in the middle of your screen and that's kind of your direction. Very hard on console to do it. And then on PC, I know there's that singer who's meant to be extremely hard on PC, but on console it's very easy. And that's just the control scheme of each different thing. So I think there's ups and downs in each, but there's no real superior, I don't think.
Mm. This is a bit of more of a serious question. What needs to be done by gaming companies, streaming networks like Twitch for female streamers?
Um, no. Well, I think in light of a lot of stuff happening recently,
Mhm.
in terms of female streamers with Twitch, I know Twitch has been cracking down a lot lately on those. There's actually a few streamers in particular on Twitch crackdown. The crackdown on a girl called I think it was Velvet Seven, who she got banned last year,
Mhm.
and the only reason she got banned was because of her clothing. But
Yeah.
she was wearing normal clothing. It was just the fact, the type of body she had, kind of emphasized through her clothes. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
So she got banned, and she only got unbanned there a week ago. And Twitch had basically sent her a letter stating the reason that they had unbanned on her. And now she has done 3 streams since, wearing the same clothing she would have at the time a year ago. And she's allowed to do that now. But if you think about from the time she got banned to now, you've had, different controversies with female streamers. Like, I know, right, you had the hot dog thing, I know it got out of hand with a lot of people.
Mhm.
But that's because of the reason that exists was because of a loophole at the time. Someone's saying Twitch. But I think for female streamers on Twitch, what Twitch needs to look at is that female streamers will tend to get a lot more hate than male streamers. In a sense, it's not just even with gaming. There's a lot of problems, I think, on Twitch where Twitch doesn't see the side of that you could have people being hateful in chat. Uh, hateful in chat. There's the controversy of stalking, which I've actually recently seen a lot. You see a lot of people on Twitter about that, but I know there was someone who did statistics on Twitch a while ago, and they were looking at male and female streamers, and there was a lot more like hate targeted female streamers. So I think Twitch does need to do something about that. that they should have maybe extra options in chat or some kind of moderation system there. I think there shouldn't be as hard on female streamers as well, just in terms of how a female streamer is portrayed on Twitch compared to a male, because like a female streamer and a male streamer, there shouldn't be any difference in that sense. There should be equal property. And I don't think Twitch sees it that way. I think Twitch is hardwired in a sense that they target someone like it's nearly a direct hit.
Mhm.
I don't know how to actually explain. Um, but yeah, I know there does need to be more done along just the issues of targeting and hate in that sense. But in another way, I think Twitch needs to realize that in terms of like female streamers on the platform, that they want to do exactly the same thing as everyone else. I think Twitch should actually be more lenient on willing to look at female streamers, because I know you had the leaks recently, the airlines leak, and from that it actually found out that there is a lot more uh, males partnered than female, and apparently there is a lot more females requesting to be partnered now, which is brilliant to see. In that sense, there's more people willing to put time into Twitch.
You're a moderator as well as a streamer, aren't you?
Yeah, I moderate on two channels. One occasionally, which is D-Lock and Load. He's a wild streamer, and then I moderate on KyeYeah's channel as well.
Compared to from streaming to moderating, what do you prefer, watching more of people's streams when you're moderating, or do you just keep an eye more on the audience or to chat really?
To be honest, when I'm moderating, it's kind of a mixture of both. So if chat's quiet, like I'll watch the stream, but of course the way if you're modding a stream, you can activate or moderator mode, so you can still see the stream, but you can also see the chat. You can see different things that are going on. So I'll watch the stream, and every, say, maybe minute or 2 minutes, I'll take a quick look at chat, look back. But if I think that there is a lot of people in chat, I'll kind of focus on chat and still listen to the stream. So it depends. If chat's quiet, I'll look more to, like, I'll focus watching the stream. But in a sense, I probably actually enjoy more watching the stream than I do moderating. But I'll still keep moderating a priority in that sense. I won't let everything kind of go out of control.
What have you learned from your mistakes when you were streaming?
In terms of mistakes, what have I learned? I never walk with a killer. By accident, me and two lads were into a match, and I don't know why I started just pointing at the killer, and he ran away, killed both my friends, and left me out the gate. And I ended up, I didn't go out the gate. I more or less told the killer to kill me. But the lads were going mad, like, what the hell are you walking with the killer? And I didn't. All I did was point at him. So I was one thing I kind of through that. But uh, in terms of actually streaming myself, I kind of sort of a mistake I made at the start was I kind of worried a bit too much when it was live. I remember in the early times. So I've been streaming, I think, a year and 4 months. Oh no, wait. No, maybe a year and 6 months. I've been streaming. And in like now when I'm streaming, I still look to chat, I still check it. I still I make sure everything's alright, but I won't be kinda as nervous talking, or I won't be constantly checking other bits of the stream as much.
Mhm.
I get more confidence in myself in that. I remember originally when I was starting the stream, I'd be talking to Jack and that chat, and then if another person come in, I'd be talking to them, and then dur I'd be going back to playing a bit, and I'd be so freaking nervous. I'd be thinking, "If I mess up here, people see this." I was scared shitless to say that. And now sure if I mess up, it's just everyone having a laugh and no one really minds. So I think there was different bits like that, and I think I've got a lot more confidence from that. And I think the only other thing I kind of made the mistake of was I I went into another person's chat who wasn't Irish,
Mhm.
and I asked any crack, and they took that the completely wrong way. So instead of the sense of any crack, they thought I was asking for drugs,
Oh.
and I ended up getting banned from that chat
Oh no.
and sent it on ban request explaining what crack meant, and eventually unbanned me. But yeah, I'll always know if I go into someone's stream that's not Irish, I literally put in brackets the translation of what any crack or what's that's just in case.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What would
What would
your
your
advice be for a new content creator or streamer?
my advice for, I suppose, yeah, my advice for anyone new, start off with whatever way you like. So if you play on PlayStation, just start off with your PlayStation connected to Twitch. Um, I suppose if you don't have, let's say you didn't have a laptop, you can use your phone to track chat on Twitch. So you can. Uh, there's also an option on PlayStation you have to see chat, but um, through that, start at your own pace. You don't have to, be flying in and streaming every day. Even if you want, whenever you feel comfortable with stream, start at that. Even if you only stream once a week. I know I helped out 3 or 4 people who recently started streaming, and my advice was whenever you want to stream, so just run out these streams every Saturday. Uh, was it Stroke Wolf, and he streams every Saturday. He streams Warzone. You might do a half an hour of that, and
Mhm.
then from PlayStation, you have to actually stop your broadcast before you can stream another game. So he does a half an hour of Warzone, and then I think he's doing Ghost of Tsushima as well of it. So he does that, and I've run in I went in a few times just to see how he's getting on, and he seems to be getting on well. And then for another person there on PC, so basically for them, I said they don't need to worry about having a camera straight away, because they were kind of shy, that they kind of asked me at the start, did they need a camera, and I said, "Well, you don't need a camera straight away." And they were really shy about, I suppose, showing their appearance on stream. So I told them, no, you don't have to get a camera straight away. That if you wanted, you could just play the game, and then you could just have your voice through headphones, or even if you had a microphone, you don't have to be too worried about that. And just to take your time, And if you feel nervous, don't worry. Sure, if you have one or two people in chat, and even if they weren't talking, just play the game and sure, start talking, make a conversation. Yeah, just go along bit by bit. And I told them like if they had any problems or they felt something wasn't going right, just send a message and I'd pop in. And that's what I've tried to do every so often.
What's the plan for your streams in the future?
Streams in the future, I kind of want to build my stream kind of include everyone. So my idea originally when I started streaming, I had the concept of letting people see a game before they play it. That
Mm.
was the original concept. And the one people did see that and they were glad that I was able to show them like different games they could play and kind of how you play a game because that's kind of where now the coaching's come out of. I have a lot of people like they don't know how to play a Dead by Daylight, or if they're trying to play a killer, give them advice on how to play a side killer. I kind of want to do now the fact that I have people in Discord that have been saying like to play certain games or they'd like to try something else. I want to kind of include them more in the streams or even just in general when I'm gaming. So I suppose in a way I want to include more people, but I kind of want to build like a kind of friendly community, a supportive community in that sense for even anyone that's streaming or even people that just watch streams and play a few games.
Mm.
So my plan for the future is just kind of to incorporate that more, to include more people. Otherwise, just enjoy the times.
Would you be thinking going to TwitchCon in 2022 in Amsterdam?
I was actually looking a lot into it there recently, and to be honest, I think I will be going. I went into work there as soon as I went back, and I literally went, question. And if the manager's going, what? Let's see when we get a chance to book holidays there. Could I just book, certain dates off straight away? And he goes, why? And I go, well, I'll be leaving the country. Imagine nearly had a fucking heart attack. He goes, what do you mean you're leaving the country? Sure, you're only back. I go, oh, no, no, like it won't be straight away, but it'll be a few days and come back. And he goes, oh, yeah, probably do that. And I go, yeah, but it's not straight away. It was straight away. And he goes, oh, thank fuck. But yeah, literally, I basically we can't book holidays for next year straight away. Like we can't do it till around the start of January. So basically, I've already put a note down in advance that I'll be booking certain days off, and plan is definitely for TwitchCon.
Do you have any favorite Irish streamers out there you watch and enjoy their streams?
Um, in a sense, I'd watch Platinum Jack whenever he's on. I'd watch him a lot. Uh, Jacksepticeye, I'd watch him. I'd say literally every time he's on, I watch good 2-3 hours of his streams, kind of between kind of break a walk if he's on, or just if I wasn't gaming at the time, I could be editing and I'd have his stream on. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think in a sense I kind of watch more smaller streamers than old larger
Mm.
in that sense. I know I kind of jump between. Suppose I watch. I started watching recently. So I'll actually come back to that person, but no, like I'd watch all cast Irish gamers.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, he would go into a lot of games that haven't released, or to get early demos of games, and to play a lot of indie games. And also the Jackpot or the Jackbox party nights. I'd get involved in them a lot because you just have Minion and Pesto or Pesto and just go mad. Like if somebody answers, I don't know how to get away with on stream because if Twitch had a thing to look at Warden, then
Yeah.
well, there'd be a lot of conflicts. But yeah, no, I've recently been watching a lot of kind of funny games. To be the ones to start recently watching. I I heard about them through a podcast, and basically they're uh, kind of English American group
Mm.
because they're kind of based between both areas. But no, I like them because they're comedy and humor,
Mm.
and especially they're doing escape simulator.
Oh, okay.
It's like escape rooms in a way. But it's just funny when they get trapped on a puzzle, and one of the lads is just wrong. How the hell do we get out of here? And like you roaring through the mic, he doesn't even realise it's wrong. And all the rest of them trying to calm him down. One boy just goes flat out mental. I suppose, and then there'll be RT Game. I'd watch him a lot. I've watched him since I actually found out about Twitch.
Mm.
Um, Literally, I met him and I met Jacksepticeye at events. Would have been a few years back. There were small gaming events that were in Dublin at the time. I remember I, I met Jacksepticeye before I actually knew, and I didn't realize that who he was at the time. And then I popped into his stream the first time, and I remember telling him about it, and he actually remembered it, and he goes, "I mean, you didn't know me at the time." You could laugh about it, so and then RTGM, I actually met him over in Galway at one stage, and he was doing a fundraiser at the time. I think
Mm.
it was for children in need. So it was brilliant to see him now, and then just the fact that they were very down to earth in that sense.
Mm.
Um, I think that's one thing that I've found through even watching people's streams. People that are down to earth, I'd watch more. Like I think that's why I kind of stick mainly to small streamers as well, because most of the streams are just chilled out, and
Mhm.
they're not kind of worrying about how many people are in the stream or what's going on in the stream. They're just kind of relax the game and just chat away.
So, if anyone wants to follow you on any of your social media and Twitch, where can they find you?
So on Twitch, it's fun_gaming_, because someone took fun_game and has since disappeared off Twitch. Apparently, I can't get the name changed. It won't let me go back to fun, or it won't let it go back to fun_ in that sense. Um, so yeah, on Twitch, yeah, I've basically the extra underscore after the gaming. Every other social media, it's just fun_gaming. And I think on Facebook I had to put a one. So it's fun_gaming 1. And to be honest, I just put updates on it. It's mainly just an update page, because as soon as an update goes through Instagram, it'll go through Facebook. That kind of way.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I do appreciate it.
No problem at all. I was kind of glad to be on, or it was good to be back on a podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Fons, for doing the podcast. Make sure to follow him on his social media, as he said there. Check him out on Twitch and give him a follow. And also check him out on Twitter. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, everyone. I will be back next Friday, once again at midday, with a new episode of Behind the Streams. If you want to check out me, I am SheilannO on Twitter and on Twitch, and SheilannO Gaming on Instagram and Facebook, I believe, if I remember. Yes, I'm just gonna say yes. Also with that, if you do listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to review this. It will help me and the podcast and get more recognizable in Ireland and elsewhere on the podcast list, I guess, really. Don't forget to share the podcast episodes as well, and I will see y'all very soon. Enjoy your weekends, and I'll see you guys all next time. See you later.